How the fuck is everybody doing tonight? It is Thursday, March the 4th, 2021, and this is Fandom Empire Live. Thank you for joining us on this occasion. We are intentionally 10 minutes late as usual. I always find it funny the people that don't think we intentionally run late. Although sometimes we don't. Sometimes we accidentally run late. That shit does happen. How's everyone doing? It's a Thursday. Not gonna lie, it's been a pretty fucking shit day. But we're here. We can take a deep breath. Things can always be worse. At least most of the time. And we're here. Let's talk some Halloween, some Haddonfield the Vanished, and some other things that go with that. Let's talk some Friday the 13th, some Elm Street, Universal, Fast 9, movie theaters, the vaccine, some Q&A. That's right. We actually are going to talk a little bit about the vaccine. Normally, we do not dive into anything regarding that. But I think we're at a stage now where it is actually affecting the news that we are talking about. So we kind of have to address it. So we're going to tiptoe around it, and we know everybody has their own personal beliefs on, whether it's pandemic issues or political issues or anything of that sort. Mike Warner says, baby shark cups all around. Not today, man. There's no baby shark down here today. That got brought upstairs. The studio is actually about 95% complete now. You guys can't see the rest of it yet, but good shit. So the way this show is going to work is, I guess you could say, show notes or my lovely little list here. We are going to start off with some Haddonfield the Vanished talk after we shoot the shit for a bit. Talk about the vaccine, how it affects it, a decision Universal made today that could affect Halloween Kills. We're going to talk Halloween Kills, Friday the 13th, Elm Street, Q&A at the end. You guys know how this works. If you want to get your word in early, send in a super chat, and we will read your question on air no matter what it is. If you want to say Tommy B's got really stinky feet, we'll read that on air too. We definitely appreciate the support. We've been just having some really good audience numbers lately, and people clicking the like button. 50 plus people in here, almost 60 at one point. See some more likes, guys. Hit that like button. Pardon me. But yeah, no. If you want to get your question or comment read on air, you guys know what to do. Otherwise, wait to the end of the show. We'll do some Q&A, but obviously we're not going to get to everybody because it's just not possible. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Zach Arnold in the house. Don't forget, Fandom News Now follows this. FNN. Scheduled for a 9:35 Eastern start time. And I was looking at Zach's show notes earlier, and I have to say, the news just keeps coming today. I kind of feel bad for him because, I don't know I don't know if he's making changes because of some of the stuff that's come out this evening. He does not have an easy task, only having a half an hour of time to work with Fandom News, but he's our boy, Zach, and he'll find a way to get it done. All right, right out of the gate here, we're going to get to Tommy B in a second. I just want to show off this little poster that I picked up. At least I thought it was a poster. Somebody, they've asked to remain nameless, but one of our longtime viewers here showed me this poster. I thought it looked spectacular. It's going to go up on the wall behind me, probably where the OG Halloween poster is, and then I'm going to move the 2018 somewhere else in the studio. But here it is. Came all the way from China to Canada. See if you guys can see this. Oh, this is going to shine terribly on the light. I'll try to angle this, but I need somebody else down here to turn off the lights, but I'll have to take some pictures and post it, but there it is. It's a custom-made Halloween poster It's hard to tell, but Michael's arm is there holding the mask. And then on the bottom, you got a bunch of autumn leaves with a knife and the Halloween title. Absolutely loved it. I suppose I should have done a better job of, I know you're not hearing me too well right now, planning out the lighting to show you guys properly. So that was a bit of a fail. So I'll have to post it on the groups and stuff. But it's definitely one of my favorite purchases. Mitchell is in the chat. Apparently Andy Matichak's in the chat, but again, I think Andy probably has some better things to do than listen to Fandom Empire Now. By the way, if you guys haven't yet, the interview that Andy, again, not entirely convinced that's the real Andy, and if it is, then my apologies. The interview Andy did with the Wham guys, I finally got a chance to watch that today. It's just been crazy. And, most times I've had the ability to interview actors and voice actors and authors. And obviously the Wham guys are way bigger than we are here. I thought that she was very straightforward with them, almost revealing too with them. It just she seemed genuinely happy to be doing it. It didn't seem like work. And I think that's cool whenever you get to interview a celebrity of any status and you connect with them. That's awesome. And Mike and Jay and those guys over there and Andy definitely put on a show, and it was a lot of fun to listen to. Without further ado, though, man, myth, legend, number 2 at Fandom Empire, Tommy P. What's happening, sir?
I'm assuming I'm on screen because you're not sharing.
Oh, apologies.
So, yes.
No, you're just here for voice today. Fuck your video.
Just forget about me,
You're forgotten.
Yeah.
We have forgotten you.
Yeah. Well, what else is new? I am hanging in there, buddy. It's been another day in the current world we all live in with all its shit. But, just keep going, I guess.
It sounds like it's been a shit day for a lot of people. That seems to be the trend that's going around. For those of you that have had an amazing day, then awesome. Good stuff. Mitchell's in the house. Our buddy Mitch. How's it going, Mitch? I seen Intel Wild here earlier. A bunch of you guys are in here. We're going to sort of dive right into this. Tommy, have you ever seen I guess you probably couldn't have seen unless you had the stream up, but that might have been the worst poster reveal ever. I tried to hold it up, and the lights that we have over there are shining right on it, and it has this protective shield on it, and you just couldn't see shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if the audience couldn't see a damn thing.
I heard you talking about it, but I didn't see it.
So, all right, why don't we dive into what's just been a bit of a crazy news day. And I mean, we don't even have time to talk about everything on this show. I'm going to start with Haddonfield the Vanished. Then we'll get to the Universal Fast 9 Halloween Kill stuff. And then we'll end with some Friday the 13th and Elm Street speculation. Mitchell says, so glad to see you, Tommy B and Sean. Glad to see you too, Mitch. If that is your real name. But yeah. So you guys know what to do if you want to get your question or comment right on air. Otherwise, wait to the end, and we'll get to some Q&A. Let's start off with this. Haddonfield the Vanished. Indiegogo campaign we did was I want to watch how I word this. There were some very, very generous people. And some of the perks have already been filled. A lot of them have not. They will continue to be filled. But we basically got fucked over pretty good. I know Intel knows this. Toronto Freddy knows this. A few other people know this. We raised about $10,000 plus Canadian, and 4,000 of that we never got. It ended up getting refunded. Now, to the people's credit who donated the money back then, the situation can change for them personally in a couple of months. And, that happens. And, I've heard from a lot of people, Indiegogo has been a great experience. But I've also heard from a few people it has not been a very fun experience, and that's sort of the experience we had. We've recouped a little bit of that money, which is good because we were definitely in debt from shooting. Sorry. Update on the kiddo upstairs. Darren from Georgetown's here. How's it going, Darren? How's everybody else doing? So, anyways, basically, if you're one of the people that got their money refunded and you would still like to support us, you can reach out to me personally, or you can hit us up on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll exchange PayPal details, and we'll make sure that you get your perks and everything. And if you can't anymore, then we understand. It's not your fault because that money should have came to us anyway. And for whatever reason, Indiegogo seems to have issues with Canadians. I know for a fact Dave McRae over, on Dave McRae's channel, had Indiegogo issues himself. They got around theirs, which is great. If it wasn't for Dave, we might have gotten none of the money, to be honest. So yeah, that's kind of where we're standing there. Hadn't told too many people about it, but it's a complex situation, and it gets more complex because up here, the vaccine rollout has been nothing short of a joke. Tommy, I don't want to get too political about this because we'll be bound to offend somebody. That's just the way this shit works. Solid Saturn says it's highly unlikely that Andy Matichak account is real. We're well aware, Solid. But if it is Andy, then how's it going? Toronto Freddy, Indiegogo, fuck yourself. You're Canadian. So Haddonfield the Vanished is still a go. But because the vaccine rollout is being done so poorly, and we had some complications when we did our big shoot in November, it would appear as if the location that we need to rent is not even considering renting out their location, where we already shot a bunch of material. They're not renting that out again till fall at the earliest. Their target date is September the 1st. I can understand that, just because Toronto shut down all public events through July. So I think they're targeting September 1st, and I don't think it takes a genius to figure out if we go back and finish up shooting in September, that's a big if, the movie is not going to be out in October. If we get to shoot before then the movie will be out in October. But considering we have about 50 to 60% of the movie to shoot still, it's not looking great to hit our release date, but the movie will come one way or another. But the one thing I can tell you that's going to come that won't require that stipulation is we're actually doing the Haddonfield trilogy. And the first one you're going to see is a found... Andy is Val, question mark? Wouldn't surprise me. Val's a special, unique individual. I would put it that way anyway. So we have the Haddonfield Slayer is the prequel to Haddonfield the Vanished. It's a all found footage film. It's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes long. We're going to shoot it when the weather gets a little warmer. And hopefully we can get Toronto Freddy down here and a bunch of other people and have a bunch of fun with it. I think Cloverfield meets Halloween. So that will absolutely come out in October. So yeah, look for that. Tommy B, I know you can't really add on to that per se. But so why don't we move on? If anybody has any questions, though, regarding Haddonfield the Vanished, I can try to address them. But the Haddonfield Slayer will come first, and that will be in October. And then Haddonfield the Vanished could release in October still, but I wouldn't count on it. So, and we'll just keep pushing at it because now we're going to have to self-finance a bunch of it. I'm not going to, and this is not to knock people that do it, I'm not going to go out and run another Indiegogo campaign. I feel like you ask for money once, that should just be it. But I definitely understand where guys like Vincent DeSante and Braden Timmons are coming. They're Their production level is up here where we're somewhere down here. The chat is funny tonight. The chat is funny. All right. Tommy, you ready to talk some news, man?
Sure.
Sure? You sound like Lionel. Sure. Yes, of course. Sure. I feel like every other word Lionel says is sure or of course. Yes, of course. Anyways, let's dive into this. Fast 9, which I don't know of any. Do we have any Fast and the Furious fans in the chat? Where's the demise promotion at, says Justin. That would require Mike passing along some demise promotion, which him and I have not spoken about. So I know there's some mask stuff that we're going to run for him starting next week. But yeah. Anyways, so Universal is the distributor for Fast 9. They have moved Fast 9 back to June 25th. Now, originally I thought it would get pushed to fall. I was pretty positive that Venom was going to get pushed to fall as well. However, neither of those things appear to have happened, and I can't help but wonder if the way the vaccine's being rolled out in America, and from what I understand, Tommy B, you guys are pretty good right now with it. Unlike Canada, who, you know me, I boast my Canadian colors, like crazy. I love Canada, but holy fuck, have they messed up this distribution. The distribution of the vaccine. Sounds like you guys are doing okay. People are starting to attend sporting events. Baseball's going to have, I think, 15% capacity for fans. Some NASCAR tracks are already having some capacity for fans. Apparently by May, everybody's going to have access to a vaccine. So you set your Fast 9 in June. By the way, just because they moved it to June 25th doesn't mean that it's not going to move again or 3 more times. It's a constant. The situation is fluid. It keeps changing. This is the world we live in tonight. But Tommy, you would have some expertise on this. I can't help but wonder, and I know fans are going to not like this, but I can't help but wonder if Universal sees where the vaccine's coming from, sees the expected rollout date for everybody to be able to get it, so they safely put their movie towards the end of June. And, it's it is what it is. Could it...
There's so many different factors to consider in this case.
One second here, Tommy, before you jump in. Halloween Kills, as much as we all want to see this movie, is minuscule compared to the Fast and the Furious movies. Now, do I think the Fast and the Furious movies are better than Halloween movies? Absolutely not. I actually think the Fast and the Furious movies are complete and utter dog shit outside of the first 2. So, it is what it is, but believe me, Universal has way more riding on Fast and the Furious than they do Halloween Kills. So I would say the odds of us getting Halloween Kills in October. I love that the chat just keeps going on about whether this person is real or not. I'm 99% sure if it was Andy Matichak, she would say she wouldn't bother arguing with you guys if she was real or not. Anyway, there's way more riding for Universal on Fast and the Furious, Fast 9 specifically, than Halloween Kills. Like, it's not even close. One's a juggernaut franchise, and the other one is a horror franchise that has just been revived over the last few years. Tommy, do you think that most of America, I know this is almost an impossible question to ask. I know there's a super chat in. We will get to everybody's super chats. Do you think that, one, the reports are real and basically everybody will have access to the vaccine in May, and 2, that most of the country would be vaccinated by the end of June, early July? Or is this just, I don't like talking about this shit because, like, it can really piss people off. Some people don't think there's a need for a vaccine. Some people do. Some people think the pandemic's fake, etc. I don't really care where anybody lands on. That's your own prerogative. I'm talking about how it affects the movie industry. Is there a chance that there's a big enough rollout that, say, Fast 9 at the end of June might have, say, 50% capacity in theaters? Or is that still way too soon?
So I'm going to try to very briefly hit this on a couple different points. The first point I want to hit is what you just said, the whole May thing. The whole reason that's possible is because there's a new one that was approved by J&J, and it can be stored easier, and it's a one and done thing. So mass distribution, mass vaccinations is much more, feasible of a thing to do. If they were going to accomplish it, that's definitely how it's going to happen. Not that I'm a health expert or anything. I'm not. But there's another problem with that. And the problem with that is the same problem, at least down here, we've had since the pandemic began. And that's largely we're still handling this problem locally, at the local level. We're doing one thing here. They're doing one thing out in whichever other state. Take your finger, point at a map, and click one, and it could be a totally different response. So that's a problem. Another issue is the whole everyone's going to get it. Well, I have no issue saying that I don't think everybody is ready to get it. I think once more people begin getting it, you will have a gradual shift in folks, being willing to do so. But as things stand right now, we really don't have much to go on because the crowds for who've been eligible to receive it have been heavily restricted to older folks or folks, who are based on their local community and whatnot, and their response allowing certain classes of workers to get it. Health workers. In our case here, the school personnel were offered the opportunity to receive the vaccine, but that didn't shine everywhere. So honestly, do I think this whole May thing is going to hold up? I don't think everybody is going to get it by May. That's just not going to happen. I do think we're going to have a lot more people getting it. And I think as more people do it, there will be a gradual shift to allowing more things to slowly open. I don't foresee theaters packing full. I just don't see it. Do I see 50% capacity? I mean, I'd say it's feasible, but that goes back to the issue we've talked on and off over the past few months. A lot of theaters have been hit very, very hard. I'm pretty sure the 2 in my area are still shut down, and I have to go, I think, a few towns over to get to one. So honestly, just like everything else, I really think this is just going to have to be a wait and see sort of thing. I don't think there is any real miracle prediction of that, highlights all the details. You got any feedback on that, Sean?
I mean, I see there's a bunch of different opinions in the chat, and I want everybody to stay peaceful about this. Again, I'm approaching this from how will movie theaters be in the summer? You guys are all entitled to your own personal opinion. I'm not here to judge any of that or even give my opinion on it. Matt Whitfield sends in a $15 super chat, says those reports are absolute BS. We're looking at late summer theaters to go to half capacity. I'd think late summer, August, September area, if theaters were at half capacity, that'd be a pretty solid start. But remember, just because they're at half capacity doesn't mean that all of those seats are going to be sold. You know, people still have to be willing to go into a movie theater and risk what's going on. My whole point is, obviously, Universal has some belief that things are going to change to an extent to push. You still with me, Tommy? Okay, yeah, I just saw you blink. I thought you were frozen. Universal has some belief that this situation is going to slowly get resolved by June. And just know this. Last year we were talking about watch what happens with Tenet. It will give you an idea of what happens with Halloween Kills. And we didn't even get to that point before they delayed it. Again, I would say watch what happens with Fast 9 and you'll find out what happens with Halloween Kills. So, again, that movie is far more important, Fast 9, to Universal than Halloween Kills is. It's simple facts. As much as I might not like it, it is. Also, I want to talk a little bit here about Andy Matichak's interview that she did with Wham. Now, she and Tommy, I want to get in your head. And I want to get into the audience head. So, chat, get ready because we're about to ask you a question. I'd like everybody to reply in the chat as best as they can. Obviously, we won't be able to read everybody's answers, but we'll get to as many of them as we can. Andy Matichak was very emphatic with saying Halloween Kills needs to be seen in a movie theater. And I'm bringing this up because I got messaged by a couple of people about it. So Andy Matichak, to the Wham guys, said, you really need to see Halloween Kills in a movie theater for the size and scale. And I won't lie, if I have the option to go to a movie theater, Tommy, that's exactly where I'm going to see Halloween Kills. Ideally on a nice big IMAX screen. That would definitely be my preference. But immediately you get people jumping to Andy Matichak told the Wham guys that you have to see this movie in a movie theater. So immediately people started jumping to conclusions. Well, that means that they're not going to release Halloween Kills on VOD and they're not going to sell it to a streaming service and blah, 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 blah. As much as I like Andy Matichak, and I'm pretty sure Frank Riker confirmed that was fake Andy Matichak in the chat, probably Val and his dumbasses, she has no power over this. Jason Blum doesn't even get to decide when and how Halloween Kills comes out. Does he have some say and some pull? Probably. But, why? I don't understand how people think that, Andy Matichak, a relatively unknown actress, a fantastic actress to her point, but a relatively unknown actress, how they think she would have any sway in that. At the end of the day, one company is going to make the decision how and when Halloween Kills comes out. And that company is not Blumhouse. It's not even Trancas. It's Universal. Universal is the distributor. They will have final say. It's the way it works. And the amount of people that, So. Solid. Do me a favor, mate. Don't bring up the Val stuff in the chat. Just don't care for it. Anyway, that's kind of where we are, Tommy. Oh, is that fake solid? Oh, see, there's two solids. There we go. I'm trying to get rid of the fake solid. Actually, before I do... Done. Oh, you got it? Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. The funny part is, and like we were joking about with Kieran the other day, it's kind of like, so, do these people not realize when they come in here, they're giving us views and clicks and helping the algorithm out. So you could say Sean stinks and Sean doesn't shower and Sean has breath like cow manure. Doesn't make any of it true. And all you do is help us out. So thanks for that. Anyway, Tommy, my point is Andy Matichak has no fucking idea how or when this movie's being released. None. Sorry to be bold and blunt. It's the truth. Did I enjoy the interview? Yeah, absolutely did. And I seen someone said earlier, I can't see where they're in the chat now, James Jude Courtney said something similar. Yeah, I'm sure they would love to release Halloween Kills in full capacity. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. In fact, I can almost guarantee, at least here in Canada, I don't think theaters will be at full capacity in October. I hope they are in America. That'd be great. That'd be awesome for everybody in the chat. But what I want to know right now, chat, is let's play the what if game. Let's say movie theaters are at 50% capacity by October. 50. Are you going to see Halloween Kills in a movie theater at 50% capacity? Or are you going to sit at home and watch it on premium video on demand? Movie theater, 50% capacity. Premium video on demand in the safety of your own home. Comment in the chat. We want to know what everybody thinks here. KJ says, Tommy Bradshaw with the clothesline from hell on Fake Solid. KJ is apparently a wrestling fan. That's awesome. That's KJ, you, sir, get some props for that one. Tommy B, what's it going to be? How are you going to do it? If you got to choose one or the other, are you going to a movie theater? Or are you watching this thing on video on demand?
So here's the thing. Because of the way theaters are in my area, I would need to figure out where I have to go, number one. And who even knows if it's going to be a good theater. Because, I think there's a real line to be drawn with, well, is it just any theater or is it a theater actually worth going to? Because, the comfort of my home is much better than many theaters, in my opinion. Having said that, I'm basically of the opinion that I think a lot of folks are. It's going to be where are things with, the current situation, numbers, and what have you. People have been vaccinated versus active outbreaks and such. I'm not going to straight up say that it's impossible that I'm going to see this movie in a theater because I'm not ready to say that. Unless, of course, it just doesn't hit any theater at all. But I would say that I am leaning towards a VOD experience. But also acknowledging that I'm really hoping that the VOD comes at the same time, which, we just don't know. There might be a delay. I hope there's not a delay. I hope we all get to watch it in our preferred format on release day.
I've had a lot of people ask us, so what's your plan when Halloween Kills comes out? And the original plan was to go to the Toronto International Film Festival, myself and Jade and Toronto Freddy and probably Ray and maybe even Kieran. But I at this point, I don't see how.
I like that. Yeah. What's your plan? You might as well ask me, where am I going to be in 5 years?
Right? Like, it's just like, well, we would love to do this, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's kind of beyond our control. Like, I am utterly disappointed that the vaccine rollout has been so poor in Canada that unless something massive changes, TIFF is likely not going to happen. However, if it does happen, and they are allowing people to purchase tickets, we intend to be there. Toronto Freddy says, I plan on going to see Halloween Kills in my Michael Spooky Clemente H. Kills mask. Yes, Mike and I had a bit of a discussion about that today, Toronto Freddy. And by the way, the mask that Mike first made me that somehow ended up in Germany, this was in June, by the way, June 2020, just arrived on his doorstep today.
No shit.
Almost, 9 months later. So obviously someone in Germany's like, yeah, we might want to ship this back to the U.S. So not sure what we're going to do with that. Mike and I are going to talk about it, but that one was more of a Halloween Kills concept mask before we got some of the more fine details of what the mask is actually going to look like. So we'll figure out what to do with that. Anyways, let's... oh, sorry. People ask, what are we going to do in terms of once we see the movie? My hope would be the day... Halloween Kills will officially come out on a Friday, but there's always the preview screening the night before. My hope would be if TIFF doesn't happen, that a few of us take the Friday off work, if possible. We all get out to Halloween Kills on the Thursday night and literally come home that same Thursday night and do a review of it. Look, the way the YouTube game works is you got to review something almost immediately after it comes out in order to hit the algorithm. Those things are important. Toronto Freddy says he's come home. Good shit. So, the hope would be, if we see a 7 o'clock showing, that by 11 o'clock we're live on air with like an hour and a half review of it here in studio and having a bunch of fun. Who knows, though? Like, I have no idea what's going to happen. Like Tommy was just saying, the first time I see it, it might be on video on demand. I may be sitting up in my living room. I might have to buy a bigger fucking TV. Who knows? Did Frank just remove the real Solid Saturn? Uh-oh. Can never tell. I think isn't Solid Saturn 03? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I deleted 02 earlier.
Yeah, 02 is definitely a fake. Fuck 02. Yeah, let's go back in the chat here and hang on, we got some feedback coming on your end, Tommy. Let's go back in the chat and see what everybody's saying. KJ says both. Melissa's on demand. David Cameron says nope. Foley says I'll be at a theater. That's my goal. I want to be in an IMAX theater, baby. Even if I have to drive my ass to Vaughan. Nicholas Turner says theater for sure. Toronto Freddy says slash that thumbs up button, little piggies. Bo says I'm going to a theater, then watching it 100 times over again on VOD. Joel's in the house. Joel says sorry to say I'm going VOD. Don't be sorry, man. I mean, look at the shape of the world right now. You're just doing what you think's best.
I mean, hey, at least if we all get it VOD. I mean, I guess it depends on what format it's released in, but it would probably end up being one of those you spend like, $30 sort of things, and you get to watch it however many times you want. I mean, I don't know.
It could be. We'll have to wait and see. DMT, pardon me, says the Dave McRae version. I shot him 66 times with a machine gun. It's not human. Solid Saturn is here, in fact. Oh, man. Jade says we will not be buying a bigger TV. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. Damn it, 112 inches, no less. Just to be clear, we are talking about a TV. All right, let's talk some Halloween Kills here. The Halloween Kills update, just so people were wondering, is quite simply how Fast 9 affects Halloween Kills. And make no mistake, whatever happens with Fast 9 will absolutely affect Halloween Kills. So pay attention to that movie, and we'll see what happens. The other thing I'd say is Fast 9 is supposed to be out June 25th. I would say that's probably a pretty good target date for a trailer. We'll have to wait and see, though. Mike Warner says, fucking trolls, get the fuck out. What if Mike is actually a troll himself? Dun, dun, dun.
Aren't we all just trolls in someone else's eyes?
Well, that's deep. That's a deep cut, man. I don't know if I'm ready for any deep cuts tonight. DMT. I have a 112-inch ... cough cough television eye roll. Jade says, I'm not cheap. We have a big 4K TV. We don't have the room for it. We have a TV in every room and soon to be 2 in the studio. I mean, if you count
what the hell you need so many TVs for?
Well, it turns out, Tommy, to watch television, you need TVs.
In every room?
Just wait, we're going to get a 119-inch one in the bathroom. It's going to be like on the roof or ceiling, pardon me. You just look up at it as you're taking a dumpski. What do we have here? Alberto says now there's 2 of them. This is getting out of hand. I don't know what they're talking about.
Probably solids.
Gotcha. Solid Saturn message me. And let me know. David Cameron says more spam in the chat tonight than aisle 6 at the local grocery store. Well, you see, Dave, the thing that the idiots don't get is they come in here and they think, oh, no, his feelings are hurt because I said that he stinks and has bad breath and wears Pink Floyd sweaters and yada, yada, yada. And the reality is I kind of laugh at it because all they're doing is helping out our algorithm. They're fueling the chat up. It sucks that our mods have to remove that nonsense, but at the end of the day, all they're doing is helping us out. So if they want to keep doing that, then I think it shows how little of a life they have. Let's have some fun with this. Tommy, you had no prep for this. Halloween Kills. And you've read the script, so be careful with how you word this. What are 3 things, and this goes to the chat too. What are 3 things you have to see happen in Halloween Kills? Like, don't post spoilers if you've read the script, but 3 things you absolutely need out of Halloween Kills.
A unicorn, robot Jesus, and a Loch Ness monster.
Wow.
Nah. Oh, shit. 3 things I actually want to see out of Halloween Kills. Well, we know that there are going to be many deaths. We all know that, and we shouldn't even pretend that there's
Wait, a movie titled Halloween Kills is going to have lots of deaths? You spoiled the chat. How do you feel about that, man?
Well, I really don't give a fuck.
You're in classic Tommy mood tonight. I love it. You owe me a pop, Jinx.
I want to see some kills that are original. And by original, I mean, let's put the the typical knife to the side and see something new, some kind of new style we have yet to see. And I'm not saying let's just go crazy with a machine gun or anything, but treat it like it's an art form.
So wait, you don't want to see Michael on his knees playing with the chains he's tied up with as a man in black who they had walking around the set just because they think he looks cool, blows everybody away with a machine gun. You don't think that would make a good movie? I'm stunned.
No, I really want to see something original, something in the kills that we have yet to see. In the chat, Ryan Ellis, the flashback looking very close to 78. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that we're going to see the flashback shot like it was shot in 1978. But I really need the atmosphere to speak to it, the actual movie. That's also very important to me. As for a third thing, Character development.
Character development. Well, I mean, let's be honest here. You and I both know that happens in the movie.
Well, script to screen, my friend. Script to screen.
I feel like there was a making of Halloween book that had that as a tagline. Oh, wait, there was. Yeah, no. Let's read some of the comments in the chat here now that we got rid of Troll Boy. By the way, hang on. Before we get to the comments in the chat, by the way, we have also asked, what are 3 things you all need out of Halloween Kills? For me, it's simple. A badass score by John Carpenter. I mean, he knocked it out. Him and his son there knocked it out in 2018. I thought it was the best score of any Halloween movie. So a badass score. Michael on a rampage, like what's in the script. Like, don't cut away a bunch, you know. Let's see this shit. Let's see Michael all juiced up. And then, I don't know, number 3 is I would hope that the flashback is as good on screen as it reads on paper. I think that's really, really important, is that the flashback is as good on screen as it is on paper. That's a lot to live up to. I know our buddy Intel Wild and I talked about that a week or 2 ago. He had some concerns, I believe. Intel, if you're listening, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think when you read something on paper, whether it's a novel that gets converted into a movie or whatever, just a script, it's really easy to get your expectations super high, and then the way it's presented on screen not live up to the expectations. So my hope is that flashback is not a letdown, because the way it reads, damn it, it's so good. So fucking good. See what everybody's saying in the chat. Nicholas Turner says, Karen's got to go. Music and suspense. What else do we have? Kenny, our boy Kenny's in the chat. He says, Laurie getting a meaningful death. Meaningful death for Laurie. Lowell Turner says, I want to see Loomis and what really happened when Loomis shot him and he fell off the balcony there. Horror Movie Lover says, is there a chance Kills gets delayed to next year? I mean, I suppose there's a chance anything could get delayed to next year. But no, I think Kills is coming out this year regardless. Everything has a shelf life. Ryan Ellis says, the flashback looking very close to 1978, a new and inventive kill and an epic score. Oh, it sounds like Ryan Ellis and I were literally on the same page. So that's pretty cool here. What else do we got in the chat? Next Gen Studios says, big emotional moments, the most badass kills we've ever seen, and an epic climax. I do believe the climax to this movie is epic. We talked about some Halloween End stuff last week where there's some stuff that'll be answered in Ends that happens towards the end of Kills. So that's intriguing to look at. However, I'm still worried about the last frame they show. I kind of think it's a bit of a dud.
Hater.
I mean, you've read the script without spoiling it because we don't want to spoil the end of the movie. Where are you with how it ends? For me, it just to have just the insane final act that they have, and then to end it like that, sort of, to me, it's a bit of a letdown.
I don't know if letdown is the right word I want to use. I will, and we talked about this a few weeks ago. The ending sequence should have been done prior to what they do right before it. It should have. They should have, at minimum, reversed the order. That's just my opinion. Maybe script to screen, maybe they'll all us. It'd be great. But no, I can empathize with that. But at the same time, I'm not going to say I totally hate it because I have yet to see it.
What was I going to say there? Just lost my train of thought. Dom says some people here, where did he go? Some people here have already written it off just based on a CGI Loomis. I think that's premature. I also think they need to recast him eventually. A waste of a great iconic character. Otherwise, Loomis is not CG. We went over this not too long ago. Loomis is not CG. You'll have to wait and see how they do it for yourself, but he is not CG. And, I mean, look at the guy in charge of that sort of thing, Christopher Nelson. So, I always miss your name here, Million. He says, can't wait till Sean eats his words about the ending. I don't think I will unless it's presented different on screen, man. I really, really don't like the last frame. It just feels lackluster. Definitely lackluster. So, all right, let's keep moving on. If anybody wants to get in any final Halloween thoughts, you'll have to send in a super chat, and we'll address it that way. Otherwise, we're going to move on. Let's talk some Friday the 13th. That's right, Friday the fucking 13th. There's no news on Friday the 13th. It's still trapped in a lawsuit. It hasn't gotten any better. My question though for everybody, and Tommy, how many of the Friday films did you end up seeing this year?
I've only watched, I guess at this point it wasn't even this year, it was last year. But I watched like the first 4, I think it was.
First 4?
And I still have 4 more to go through that I own.
Our boy Kieran in the chat says he loves the 2018 ending. I do too. I think the ending they gave us was better than the original ending they had planned. Although I still think they should have released, they actually shot a different ending. It would have been nice to have that on a Blu-ray. John asks, did anyone find some of the dialogue in the script a bit ... forced at times? Yeah, but then again, if you look back to 2018, John, Happy Halloween, Michael, was as corny and cringeworthy as it gets during what was a heck of a battle that was going on. So I'm not sure dialogue is their strongest suit. We'll have to see what happens there. Anyways, going back to Friday the 13th, assuming that somebody ever wins this fucking court case and we finally get another Friday the 13th movie, I would like to know what the chat thinks. What direction should Friday the 13th go? Because I know people are going to say I'm biased because of Supernatural. I think the best Friday the 13th movie is the remake. For me, it probably goes the remake 2176. The remake 2176 would be my order. So,
I have not seen the remake, but at this point in time and with how, inundated the friggin' franchise is, I'd say either pick up from your most recent reboot or start fresh. Maybe don't even do Pammy. Maybe just go right to Jason.
I don't think you can do Pammy. As much as people love Pamela Voorhees, the Jason franchise for the generic audience out there lives off of Jason Voorhees. That's what Friday the 13th is for most. So is the hockey mask. Even though it doesn't.
If I remember correctly, and I've only read about this, in the reboot, you get the whole. They basically condense the first movie in like 20 minutes or so, a half hour. Does that sound right?
Possibly. Sorry, repeat that.
They basically condense, Pamela Voorhees into like 20 minutes or a half hour, and then it moves into Jason. Is that what they did with the reboot?
I haven't seen the reboot in a very, very long time.
I've never seen the movie. I read about it, so.
Toronto Freddy says he can do Pammy. I bet you can, bad boy. Joel says the final chapter for me. T. Parker Evans says parts 2, 4, 8, and the reboot are the best for me. Kieran says he watched Black Christmas the other night. Highly recommend it. You can see how it influenced later scary movies. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that you have to do Jason. And as much as people want Vincent DeSante to be the guy that does it, that's typically not how Hollywood works. As good as his fan films are, and they're amazing. Like, the quality is mind-blowingly good. The odds of them selecting whoever ends up in charge, him to do the movies are not likely, although I would be totally for it. I would absolutely be for it. And I've now had 2 people, I promise this is not a money grab, I've had 2 people message me saying they can't super chat at the moment. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I had Michael and Matt both tell me they've tried to super chat and it's not letting them. I don't know if anybody else is trying to do it. YouTube's been finicky lately, so it is what it is. How about the Nightmare movies, man? Have you seen anything Nightmare on Elm Street?
Nothing in years. But I have in the past.
I never enjoyed Elm Street as much as I enjoyed Halloween or Friday, which I know is going to piss off Toronto Freddy.
Yeah, I'm of the same mind, yeah.
I just found Freddy Krueger in the later movies became kind of corny. Apologies. Yeah, so Wayne Downey says Friday the 13th Part 2. John says Part 6 is his favorite. Chew Bubblegum and Kick-Ass 2, 4, 6 are my top 3. John says none of the Friday films are great, but most are a lot of fun, so I think as a whole it's cherished. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And I mean, look at this is a test, Toronto Freddy. So apparently YouTube is giving people some issues. Freddy sends in a $5 super chat. I love whenever a Canadian does it. It has the CA beside it. Appreciate it, Freddie. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, Matt and Mike. My suggestion would be to close the window and come back in. Spooky Clemente in the house. How's it going, Mike? Hopefully all's well, bro. Bo says the original Nightmare is awesome, and I like the second, but not a big fan of the rest. So there you have it. Why don't we move on to Nightmare on Elm Street? The last film they attempted with that was many years ago. By the way, actually, before we move on, a lot of people treat the Jason / Friday the 13th movies as if like they're this massive thing, and they do have a massive following. They have a huge presence in pop culture. But when you look at the amount of movies that have been released in the last 30 years, we're talking 30 fucking years, guys. 3 decades. You compare the amount of Nightmare on Elm Street movies made to Friday the 13th movies made to Halloween movies made. There have been far more Halloween movies than the rest. Halloween is more at the center of pop culture right now than the other ones are. And it's too bad because there's a market there. Like when you go, at least up here in Canada, when I go into a Hot Topic or something or another store, you see way more Friday the 13th and Nightmare merch than you do Halloween. So, like, hopefully these franchises can rejuvenate themselves. I'd love Toronto Freddy's take on, do you think one of the reasons we haven't gotten a new Nightmare on Elm Street is because the remake was received so poorly and that they're having trouble picturing anyone but Robert Englund play the part? Like, are they locked in with it having to be Robert Englund, or can they successfully cast somebody else, whether it's a known actor or an unknown actor? I think there's a market for Elm Street for sure, but it's just collecting dust and not for the same reason Friday the 13th is. Friday the 13th is collecting dust for, a legal case that, by the way, killed a pretty good video game too. Where are we here? Toronto Freddy says Nightmare 1, 2, 3, 4, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare are his tops. Jade says, I love Freddy, but I feel like I need to rewatch them. Sean, maybe this weekend. I'd be totally down for watching some Nightmare on Elm Street this weekend. Kevin Dustin says, what Dave McRae has done for Black Christmas and Vincent DeSante has done for Friday the 13th are not really fan films. They're actual professional productions, fan film only because they don't own the IP. That is 150% right, Kevin. I don't know Vincent too well, but I know Dave well enough. And like their movies are fantastic. Not that I have seen Black Christmas. Sounds like it's me, Billy. But both of those things are coming and soon. Or at least It's Me Billy's trailer is coming soon. I think it's summer for the movie, unless he's changed his mind. Lowell says Halloween is king. The rest are not real horror movies. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Melissa Todd says, need another Jeepers Creepers. Well, good news, Melissa. There is another Jeepers Creepers coming.
I was getting ready to say, wasn't that just announced?
There is, indeed. It's going to be at the forefront. Actually, I think it comes out this year. I think I don't know if I'm thinking about this or something else. Maybe someone in the chat can correct me. I think they announced that they've already shot the fucking movie just out of nowhere before they'd even announced the movie.
I don't know when the hell you hear about something like that. Like, how do you keep that under wraps?
I mean, easier to do under a pandemic.
I guess.
Because of how close the set would be, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Entertainment Wizard says, it sucks the Friday the 13th game went out the way it did. Well, I mean, it's still out there. You can still play it. I haven't played it in the last month or so, but it's still very enjoyable if you're playing with the right people. But the amount of content that they had ready for that game that they're legally not allowed to release is just utter horseshit. The game had a lot of backing. Gun Media did a fantastic job with it. I'd actually, I hadn't seen a Friday the 13th movie in several years. But I played the game for the last few years. So when I went back and rewatched a lot of the Friday movies around Halloween with Jade, I noticed, oh, wow, they got these locations spot on in the video game. I totally know where that is. So that was really cool. What would you say your favorite Friday movie is that you've seen, Tommy?
That's a good question because recently we had to do matchups, and I think I chose Jason from the third movie. When he got his mask, whoopee. Overall, though, I think I'm going to go with. It's really close between 2 and 4. I think I'll go with 4.
David Cameron says, need another Silent Night, Deadly Night. Well, David, you're in luck because they just announced that's getting rebooted too. So I believe that news came out yesterday or the day before. So horror is definitely making a return. It's really exciting. And we'll have to see what everybody has in store. All right, guys, this is the way this is going to work. We are down to our last 10 to 12 minutes of the show. We're going to take as many questions about whatever the hell you guys want to talk about. If it lets you super chat, great. If not, just send in a normal question, and hopefully we'll get to yours. First off, though, I want to take a second to tell everybody some of the important dates that Jimmy Two Times says, geez, Hollywood completely ran out of ideas. Yeah, they ran out of ideas about 2 decades ago, man. Some important dates for Fandom Empire coming up. On March the 11th, which is a week from today, I will be joined by quite a few of the Stream Demons and Good Real Hunting, a.k.a. Mr. Brett. And there's going to be 5 or 6 of us on here. And we're going to sort of continue the discussion that we're starting right now. And that is, what does the future of horror look like? And we're going to do some horror trivia that night. And then March 27th will be our March Madness Villain Tournament Finals. You have not seen anything get posted yet. They'll be posted tomorrow. Tommy, you still cannot post from your phone. I tried again and could not get it to work, which was frustrating. This is the first chance I've had to.
Could not post where?
The polls from the phone on Facebook. They still won't let you do that. March the 28th, I think Tommy's going to join us, but we'll have to wait and see. We're going to do a Falling Down starring Michael Douglas watch-along with Frank Riker and Darren Sands from the Slaughtered Lamb podcast. And then in April, we're going to meet up with Frank and Darren again and do The Fog. John Carpenter's The Fog. That's going to be a lot of fun. March the 31st, which is a Wednesday night. We're going to have Lee McCoy. You probably know him as Drum Dums. Lee McCoy and I are going to sit down and we're going to sort of just dive into what we can expect from these next 2 Halloween movies and everything else in horror. So Lee and I have been talking a bit lately, and I know he's excited to come on, and we're excited to have him. And then April 1st, really excited for this one. Jade and myself and whoever else would like to are going to do a April Fool's Day watch-along on April Fool's Day. It's fitting. It's perfect. We waited a long time to get to this. And something that doesn't have a date yet is we're still going to do a Cloverfield watch-along at some point. Still one of my favorite movies. But yeah, those are the dates that you have to look forward to coming up in the not-so-distant future here at Fandom Empire. And apologies for those that are... Anthony Stanfield wants to know what's going on with the famished. Stanfield, basically, the restrictions up here are fucking stupid. The vaccine rollout has been utter dog shit, and we can't even rent the location that we need to continue filming at. It sounds like the beginning of September would be the earliest, which means The Vanished will not be out in October, barring, a massive change of events. However, the one thing I can tell you will happen before that is the prequel to The Vanished, a found footage fan film of Halloween. Think Cloverfield, and it's called The Haddonfield Slayer. Got a rough draft already done on that, and looking forward to getting out and having some fun with that. That is your Vanished update. Haddonfield The Vanished will still come out. Just going to take some time. All right, Tommy, let's go through this chat before we get off. We have about 10 minutes left or so, and then we're out of here. Before I do, though, what's new with you, man? Just completely out of the blue. What's new with you in terms of just fandom-related stuff? What are you doing? What are you watching? What are you playing?
Nothing really. You really be interested in, I think, just hanging in there, I mean, as far as playing, we've had a Switch since the holidays. I've been doing a little bit of Super Mario. I picked up the 3-game pack, the 3D All-Stars, I think late last year. That's going to stop selling at the end of the month, and they're removing it from the shelves for some reason or another. Maybe they're going to start packaging the games individually, mark the price up. I'm a longtime RPG fan, always been fan turn-based, so I went through the newer Pokemon stuff. It's been enjoyable. New expansion pass. 25 years of Pikachu this year. They came out with some new news the other day. They're remaking a game.
Wait, what the fuck's a Pikachu? No, I'm kidding. There's a Pikachu sitting way over there in the corner of the room.
Oh my god. But they're coming out with some remakes for some stuff that I put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into as a kid. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to them hitting the Switch late this year, I think. But other than that, classes picked back up this week. I am keeping busy, and work is work. And as you know, we have to always be flexible.
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah, all the bullshit that comes with that.
Oh, man. You gotta love having stalkers and obsessed people. Jade, apparently Val wants you to leave me for him. I'm sure somewhere in his mother's basement, he's in his underoos eating some Cheetos, and I'm sure there's a lot of potential there.
Oh, that's not nice.
He can kiss my ass. So, where are we here? Let's start reading some of these chats here before we get off. John, Jimmy 2 times was actually Val. Big shock. What do we have here? Bianca wants to know, what's your take on the Crow remake that's been in development hell do we need to have done right? Look, the first Crow movie. By the way, Tommy, have you ever seen The Crow?
If I have, the name isn't,
It's
waving any flags.
So good. So good. I love the first
I've
Crow.
seen a shitload of horror movies over the years, but it's mostly been, I walk into a room, my cousin's watching, I sit down, I watch, and I never find out what the movie is.
So basically the story, one of the reasons The Crow is so popular is the tragedy that happened on set. That'd be a great watch-along movie, by the way. Matt Whitfield and I should hit that up on Camp Haddonfield. So the star of The Crow was Brandon Lee, son of Bruce Lee. Sure, you've heard of Bruce Lee. And he gets shot in the movie, and instead of the gun being loaded with blanks, someone loaded it with real bullets. And I'll give you a spoiler on some Smallville stuff here. They actually copied the storyline for an episode. And Brandon Lee died on set. So I know there were follow-ups that were not very good. I've heard Jason Momoa wants to do The Crow. I have no interest in that whatsoever. I think Jason Momoa would be a terrible, terrible Eric Draven. I couldn't have less interest in seeing a Jason Momoa-led Crow movie. I would probably go back and watch Rob Zombie's Halloween movies a bunch before I watched that. So that's my take on that. Spooky Clemente, aka Mike, says Demise, Halloween Demise starts filming next month. That's awesome, dude. That's some good shit. I know your boy Justin was in here earlier asking for some Demise promotion, and there you go. There you go. It comes next month. We got some argument going on about Brandon Lee, question mark. Argument about Minecraft. Mike Davis says, son of Bruce Lee. That is correct. That is correct. Tommy B, closing thoughts, sir. Closing thoughts.
Just like everything else, these times, they're constantly changing, moving, and every once in a while we get a curveball thrown at us. I'm thinking one of these days we are going to get one of those curveballs, and it is going to, if not be the exact answer, it's going to hit us off with what's going to actually happen with kills. I'm also of the mind we are seeing it this year, but what that's going to look like, and the current state of things in theaters, and are theaters even a thing where different folks are, all of that's going to be factors that come into play. So all we can do is just keep going and keep our ears open for what's next.
Absolutely. You just never know what's around the corner. But we do know what's around the corner tonight, and that is Fandom News Now with Zach Arnold is next, everybody. You'll want to tune into that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Zach puts on a fun show, and there's so much fucking news right now. Jay Ryan with a $2 super chat and a bit of a bow pose. Appreciate it, Jay. I just seen your text, too. Just can't reply to it at the moment. So, yeah, there you have it. We might be live this weekend at some point. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe a watch along. I don't know. It's up to the wifey and what she wants to do, or the future wifey. But I better watch out because Val might come and steal her. Oh no. Jay did say though, what about Prom Night, the Prom Night remake? I know I'm in the minority here, but I actually enjoyed the remake more than the original. Prom Night remake over the original. So, also, I need to watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake again. I actually quite like them, and good shit. Good shit coming up. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for Fandom Empire Live tonight. Fun little discussion show. We talked a little bit of everything. The Kills update it really all lies in what happens with Fast 9. But the fact that Universal is showing some confidence probably means good things for Halloween Kills. Only time will tell. We'll have to see. Tune in to Fandom News Now next, guys. Link is in the chat. We'll see you there. For Tommy B. Oh, I almost forgot to plug these things. I was reminded to plug them. Graphic is in the works for those of you that just joined the Patreon. Thank you for supporting us on that level. It really does go a long way. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, which is going to just go crazy between now and Halloween Kills, and there's still quite a bit of information we've just sat on and not released, and not just us. There's a bunch of YouTubers out there that probably have a bunch of kill stuff and even end stuff that they're waiting to release at the right time. Anyways, you can join our Patreon today. www.patreon.com/FandomEmpire. If you're looking for our exclusive Halloween show, though, which will be a conference call next time, you need to join the Lampkin Lane tier this Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Fandom Empire Underground's over on the Patreon channel. So join today if you want to support us on that level. Thanks for tuning in, guys. For Tommy and all of our chat mods, I'm Sean. We'll see you next time. And don't forget, that guy back there is coming. Good night, everybody.